Family, what's up? Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Another Buc-ee's, not in Leeds, this time headed up towards Tennessee. I appreciate you guys being here. Last night, Xavier Crowell tagged Hayes Fawcett, and it looked like a commitment watch to me. As I talked about on a YouTube short, this is significant for many different reasons, okay? And by the way, last night, I was at Oak Grove High School. Has anybody been to Oak Grove? Yo, my goodness, driving from Oak Grove back to Tuscaloosa was like I was on a roller coaster. Xavier Crowell, eventually he'll be a 5-star running back, let's face it. In-state running back, and I get it. Some people say that, different guys aren't must-gets or whatever. I like the term must-gets, and I like the fact that he's from the state of Alabama, and I think last year there might have been some sort of narrative that Kalen DeBoer and Courtney Morgan and the staff didn't recruit guys from the state of Alabama or couldn't recruit guys from the Southeast. I think last year, Alabama went after guys that they absolutely had to get to play a pivotal role for this coming season. I mean, think about it. Their top guys are going to play this year. Dejon Lee gonna play. Lazier Brooks gonna play. Keelan Russell, he might play as well. I think he'll play eventually, right? So those freshmen are ready to play. Justin Hill, man, the guy just told, I think it's Browns Media on Instagram, who by the way is a great Instagram account, said that he wants to make freshman All-American. I love lofty goals like that. My point is, they went after guys that fit the program. That's their mantra. Whether guys are from Alabama or from California, it doesn't matter. Their job is to go after guys that fit their program to continue the standard of excellence. Xavier Crowell, I love his running ability. My goodness, he's an all-purpose back, a big imposing back. I think, looking at his play style, I mean, shoot, he's kind of a combination maybe of like a Jam Miller and an AK Deer. How would you compare him? Because I think he has speed. I think he has size. He's big, imposing. And think about it. He should really only be a junior this coming year, right? The guy is going to be a senior because he reclassified, or this will be his final year. You get what I'm saying? Look, Alabama's done a great job recruiting, and I know, don't get caught up in the overall numbers. I'm not a recruiting guy, right? There's other guys that do that who do an amazing job, right? The On3 guys, Andrew Bones, Steve Whitfong, those guys are like your recruiting experts. But as I'm looking at the class, I don't get worried about the numbers. I look at the quality. Tell me about the quality of the guys that are coming in rather than the quantity, because you could always go out and fix your staff or fix your roster rather within the transfer portal. You get what I'm saying? So like getting guys that fit into the system as freshmen is critical still. And I strongly feel that high school recruiting is not what it used to be. But still, when you look at the guys that Alabama is in play for, they're gonna get guys. I don't know where Cedarian Morgan ends up. I don't know where Tank Jones ends up. I know Alabama would love to have those guys in the class. Xavier Crowell, it seems to me that he's an Alabama kind of lean. And his visits aren't for a little bit this summer, but it was interesting to see him kind of, tag Hayes with what looked to be a commitment watch to me. So those are things that I would, watch for over the next couple of days. I want to hear from you inside the comment box. Where do you think that Xavier Crowell ends up? And who do you think the biggest competition is? Do you think it's straight up Auburn? Let me know about Cedarian Morgan and Tank Jones as well. I'd be curious to hear from you. I know that Alabama has recently offered 2 quarterbacks. One is a current Iowa State commit. And we'll keep tabs on that. And I love right now, and I've talked about this during my shows recently, I like the fact that Alabama currently on its roster only has 3 guys. Ty Simpson looks like he's going to be the guy going into the season. And then you have Keelan Russell and Austin Mack, 2 capable quarterbacks. We've talked about them a billion times. I'm not going to talk about them in this particular video. We already know how that's going to shake out, and we love our quarterback room. Overall, though, I think it's important to see what Alabama is going to do over these next couple months. Last year, it was the cold summer, and that's when people started jumping on board after Keelan Russell committed to Alabama. And if you remember, I think it was in June of 2024 when he committed, and then you saw kind of the snowball effect. I think it will be similar this coming season with Alabama in terms of recruiting. So recruiting is certainly going to heat up. The guys are going to be able to host guys in Tuscaloosa for official visits. If they get Xavier Griffin, my goodness, right? Because that tells you they're able to go to Georgia. That tells you you're able to take care of the state of Alabama if you get Xavier Crowell. Zadarian Morgan, who knows? Maybe you get him as well. So we'll keep you posted on that. But I love the fact that Kalen DeBoer, Courtney Morgan, these guys are out doing their thing, recruiting. You know, we could all talk about year one of the things that went up and down, but man, that recruiting class was a hell of a class. And I think that class will contribute this year at a very high level. So again, I am at a different Buc-ee's this time. I've never been to this Buc-ee's. I'm cutting this video before I go in, so curious to see what I run into. This Buc-ee's has a car wash. All right, and as you can see, this one looks much more packed than the other Buc-ee's that I was at. So I'll keep you posted. As you know, I got a competitive spirit, so I am playing in another tournament in Nashville, so or outside of Nashville, Murfreesboro. I don't know if you guys know where that's at. I think it's just south of Nashville. So I'll keep you guys posted on how I do, how I perform. Last night I had the opportunity to watch my son play. He plays at Northridge High School. And I love high school sports. And I don't know if a lot of you know this, but I covered high school sports for 10 years in New Mexico. And I loved it. It was a great time period of my life. So to be able to see my son play high school football, it gives me great joy. And I love student athletes. And I've always felt that in life, you have to have a competitive spirit about yourself. Life is a competition at times, but you have to learn how to win and you have to learn how to be able to lose. And I think that builds character within yourself, right? I'm sure your parents, you know, or if you played sports, you probably tell this the same thing to your kids. You got to learn how to win. You got to learn how to lose as well. But with that said, the number one thing that I talk about, okay, the number one thing, and I can tell you a lot about the players on Alabama too, you have to be coachable. If you're not coachable, I don't want you on my team. And the thing that I see with this particular team with Alabama, jumping back to the Alabama roster, these guys are coachable, they're locked in, they have bought in, and they have bought into Coach Kalen DeBoer and his coaching staff. That's why you didn't see any guys leave, and I get it. These guys are probably taken care of financially, which they should be. So, look, got to be coachable. That's what we talk about at my house. You got to have a competitive spirit. You got to learn how to win, got to learn how to lose, but you have to win to play the game, right? You have to win. Like, we are playing to win at all costs. And that is the standard at Alabama. I hope that these guys have an amazing summer, and it's good to see those guys locked and loaded. I cannot wait till we get to some fall camp. I'll be on, as you know, Monday through Friday live at 10 a.m., or you can catch me as news happens. I appreciate you guys. Don't ever forget that, okay? I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys for believing in me, believing in the product as always. Coming to you from another Buc-ee's in North Alabama. Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I love you, fam.